morning, guys. I'm Raíza. Me, Guilherme, and Eduarda. We chose the sixth topic of the text of Macrostrategy. It's Contextualize Linguistic Input. I'm going to start talking, and then Guilherme, and then Eduardo. So, Sweet and Victor, they believe that the better way to teach is by giving context. Sweet says that the main foundation of the practical study of language should be connected text. And Victor, he said that words should be connected to text. Words should be connected to phrases and phrases to text. And everything should have a meaning. While we learn, therefore, things happen at the same time on our head and we don't even notice. These things are syntax, organization of the words, which is the grammatic part, semantics, the meaning of the word, paradigmatic, the speaker's intention. What do you mean according to the context that this word or this phrase is given, is present? Discourse, context in which the sentence is produced. Is the relation of the phrase with the text.
So, we have to remember that syntactic, semantic, and pragmatic, they do not operate in a vacuum. They interact dynamically. They are not isolated from each other. So we have to it's essential for us to bring to the learner's attention the integrated nature of language. We have to teach words and grammatic, showing the connection between them. One way of doing this is for us to contextualize the linguistic input. How do we do this? We do this by bringing the context, the environment, the wording, the intonation, the voice of the speaker, etc., into the context. So how do we do this? We have here an example of two uses of the word light in different contexts. So this bag is very light. We are talking currently about the weight of the bag. And please turn on the light. We are talking about light as the illumination of the environment, of the place where we have here another example. Context changes the interpretation. So we have here two examples. One is from a professor, other is from a friend, and the other one is from a boss. So the professor speaks to a student, you're late. This can be interpreted as a warning or an observation, depending on the context or the intonation and the meaning behind what the professor is saying. So all these factors will alter the final interpretation for the student who is hearing this. So a friend playing with another friend, and he says, "You're late." This can be seen as interpretation, again depending on the way the person is talking. A boss called the attention of the employee, saying he's late. This can be seen as a warning. Maybe he will be punished for being late, and all these are examples of the context working the interpretation of phrases.
So, the learning process is more effective when you give a meaning and when you connect phrases and words to a context.
In contextualized linguistic input, the teacher's role is very important because learning does not depend only on the textbook. The textbooks alone cannot create meaningful learning. The teacher can transform a simple dialogue into real communication. A textbook with images, dialogues, or stories cannot make a student learn automatically because a language depends on the communication, the use of the language, the practice. In the textbooks, imagine they have a dialogue like, good morning, how are you? I'm fine, how about you? I'm good, thank you. Instead of the teacher just ask the students to read the sentences and try to memorize them, the teacher can ask the class divide in pairs and try to put in practice this dialogue. The content, greetings and introductions. The professor can try to put in practice, greet different classmates, introduce themselves. Imagine they are meeting someone for the first time, create their own conversations. And as we see, the teachers create situation where learners can use language with a real purpose, because it's this that we want, that students put in practice this knowledge to improve them, and students learn better when they use language to communicate. Students should understand how language works in communication, not simple memorize rule or vocabulary lists. So students learn better when they use English to communicate. Now we're gonna see an example of this macrostrategy.
So how can we apply this macrostrategy in the classroom? We've elaborated an activity called Guess the Context. How will this activity work? And the teacher will provide a dialogue, a story, or another recording. I think another recording will be best, since we could mix in sounds from the environment, but it's just a suggestion. And the second step would be the students trying to guess the context of a scene based on this dialogue, based on the dialogue, voice tones, or background noises, as I said. This activity will serve the purpose of observing the context based on everything we've seen so far. So that's basically it. And this finishes our presentation. Thank you everyone for
Thank you
your
guys.
attention. And bye bye.